Hello, beautiful people. Hoodie here. I hope you're well. Um, Wanted to share with you a little story the last 2 weeks. So about 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine was very sick and he's been in hospital. Very, very, very sick. He's since he's since passed away. Um, but the day before, or 2 days before he did, my wife said to me, "Why don't you grab your guitar and go and play some music for him? Why don't you go down to the hospital and play your guitar for him for, an hour or two?" So, and I sort of thought, oh, I'm not sure. I didn't know if I was encroaching like that was a sacred time. Um, so I was actually really nervous about it. But I went down there and I went to play guitar for my friend, and then I had this sort of not a panic attack, but then I started to get worried on the way. What am I going to play? I don't, what songs am I going to play? Because the stuff I usually play, um, may not be suitable. Like I'm not going to take my electric guitar. I'm only taking my acoustic guitar, so I can't play any of my normal songs. I had to play some different songs, and then I remember hearing this thing, and I tried it out once, which is a different tuning, which is like a standard tuning, but every tuner that you'll ever see on any acoustic guitar or on a pedal board is tuned to something called A440, which is just a standard. So if I'm tuning to A440 and the bass player is tuning to A440 and a keyboard player and everybody is tuning to this single standard of A440, then everybody's in tune, right? So when there's lots of instruments, it makes sense for everybody to be tuned to the same thing. But when there's just one instrument or one or two, and you really want to find a tuning frequency which I think is much prettier and has been there's been a lot of research into this on whether it should have been the standard. And I think if it's something really nice and pretty that you're playing, I think this frequency A432, and not every tuner can do it. I actually used an app on my phone. It just creates this beautiful sound. And I wanted to play whatever I was going to play for him. I wanted to make sure the sound was as beautiful as it could be. So, believe it or not, I actually pulled up at the car park at the hospital and I retuned my guitar in the car park before I walked in and just quickly listened to it. And I thought, yeah, I want this, if this is the last thing he hears, from a music perspective, then I want it to be as pure and as beautiful as I can make it. So I tuned up to this, A432 frequency, and I went in there and I just sat with him and his wife and played guitar just quietly for him for about, I don't know if it was an hour and a half or something like that, maybe two. I don't really remember. But it was really quite emotional for me. And then, and he passed away the next morning. But it got me thinking, I don't, there was no way of telling whether he really heard me or whether I had any influence or made life better for him, or maybe I was an annoyance. I just, there's no way for me to know that. I mean, I choose to believe that I, made it a bit nicer in his final hours. But it got me thinking, how do I go and give more people this sort of music? How do I go and deliver that sort of music for more people? And I came up with this concept, and it's a new project that I'm working on, and it's called the Healing Room. So what I've done is I called a great friend of mine, Sterling, who sells a lot of really rare and beautiful guitars. This Gibson, what is it? It's a J45 standard, is one of his guitars, because I rang him up and I said, I want the best, most beautiful instrument that you have, because I'm going to create this project. And you're going to see the first song as it's launched on Friday in my Friday night jam. It's the first song of this project, which is called The Healing Room. I'm going to have it in, I'm going to do it over 2 or 3 weeks. And I am going to prepare and play these songs for you in this special tuning, this A432 tuning, and I've tuned the guitar, this beautiful guitar to it, and I've tuned the bass that I play as a Fender bass there to the same tuning, and I'm just going to create some really beautiful music. So if anybody is unwell or just needs to hear music that is like chicken soup for the soul, if anybody just needs to hear some real beauty, that they will always have these 3 or 4 songs that they can go to. So I'm going to record an EP, and it's going to be called The Healing Room. It's going to be mostly on acoustic guitar, whether it's this one, and in the videos you'll see this one, but I also use my own Cole Clark Fat Lady guitar, acoustic guitar, which is just so beautiful too, and it's mine, and I really know how to get a great sound out of it. But yeah, this is a project I'm going to kick off this week. I've really used this tuning. If you're a guitar player and you're just playing alone at home on an acoustic guitar, I could say really I'd encourage you to just try this new tuning. I just use a Fender app on my phone, which I think was free, and it has a standard tuner, which goes to the A440, the standard tuning that every other guitar tunes to, or it has a professional tuner, which you can tune to A432. Just have a listen to how that music, how that makes you feel while you're playing, and the beauty that comes out of playing in that frequency. And I think I'm going to leave my guitar to that frequency now, because I don't often play along with other instruments with my acoustic. And all the recordings you ever hear are with my electric guitars, and I'm happy to keep those because I've got all my backing tracks at the A440. But I'm now going to be using that a lot more often because I just think it's a more beautiful sound, and it's something, as I'm creating music, I'm really looking for that beauty as I get older now. I used to want to shred, but now it's about being older. But yeah, I guess I want to bring a little bit of that experience of that healing room to anybody that may want to listen to my music. So I've got a great song for you Friday. I can't wait. I'm not going to spoil it by playing any more now. I just wanted to talk to you through the process and where this came from. You're going to see it over the next few weeks as I play other songs, and hopefully you can hear the difference, and hopefully they make you feel something. Hopefully you feel a little bit better at the end of listening to that song than before. Even if there's nothing wrong, I hope that it helps you in some way. So I just want to record that little video. Thank you for watching my videos. I always love creating these videos, because I can't tour and I can't be on stage in front of 4 guys at a pub. All I can do, I've got family and all of the things that I need to look after for my career, so I have to be here. But at night time I can play guitar, and I just love to do it. So I'm playing it for all of you. Thanks again for your support. I hope you love the video this Friday. It'll be the first in the new Healing Room series. So thanks a lot.